April 25 recap, NBA playoffs. Ano na? Bench na? Bench na. Whoops. Where's my intro? Holy crap, my intro. Hello, Filipinas! This is the Bench, and welcome to our huddle, where we offer a layman's view on anything and everything basketball from a bunch of regular dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe hoops. I knew I was gonna mess up that one because we're missing our what I like to call our Mike statics, because our everything here on the show is brought to you by Mike, who's not here right now. I am Julio Dubs Die Hard, and with us today is homie underscore J Ortega on IG. J.
What's up from the boonies?
I knew it na, di ba? I knew it na when I started. Like, what am I forgetting? Anak ng tipaklong. I forgot the whole intro. But you know what? That's okay. So today's April 25, and we're going to be recapping the
Ah,
playoff games and the ladders that, I mean, the brackets that have been updated today. Before we start, please do like and follow us on the Bench Live on Facebook,
mhm.
and please subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, The Bench. If you could,
Pakilang.
na then click that notification button, like what most YouTubers say, and so you can be notified whenever we go on, wherever you
Right.
are, diba? Okay, how are you, Jay?
I'm pretty good, man. Getting busy. Finally getting gigs.
How was your gig in
Yay.
Viramol?
That was a lot of that was a ton of fun. I was huffing and puffing after the first song.
Talaga.
And the rest of the band, dude, all the songs became todo punk. As in, like we played all the songs faster than what they should have been
Talaga.
played.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you know what was
Wala,
no,
everyone was todo ganado.
you showed me the picture, and I just realized how long I haven't seen Viramol already. So,
Same.
diba?
Kaya, yeah, man, it threw me for a loop there for a while.
Looks
Where
so
to park?
different.
What the hell? It looks so different.
Yeah, I
Looks
know.
so different.
Anyway, let's go.
and
Let's go. Oh,
and
go.
I found out Let's Sing is charging way more, and it's not so good anymore. Hassle.
Leching. Oh, nga.
Yeah, man, that was like my go-to sana. Uy, Green Hills gig. Finally, Let's Sing after so many years. I get there, I'm like, oh, ba't ang mahal na nito? I went elsewhere.
Baka tumaas na sa level of tolerance na if it's this price, masarap pa. Pag tumaas na ng certain price, medyo ayaw mo na. Di ba? Might as
Yeah,
well
di ba?
go somewhere else.
I
Anyway,
ate at this place, Sunbeam. Sarap. Turo-turo style, pero Chinese food. Solid. And
talaga.
cheap. Yeah, man.
Okay, wait, how do we do this? Let's go
All right,
to
let's
the
go.
bracket.
Basketball.
Yeah, let's
There
go.
you go.
Oh, let's start with the East. Kasi
Sige.
this time, I think we started with the West. So, first up, today, Miami
Mm-hmm.
Miami routes Atlanta today, and they take a 3-1 lead in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think there's anything. I mean, it's expected. I didn't even think they were going to
Right.
win Game 3. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I didn't. I thought this would be a sweep. I didn't see anything different today from Atlanta. I think the biggest bane in the Hawks' game right now is Trey, man. Trey is just not being Trey. I don't know if that's the Miami D. Most likely, I think Lowry tough uh, is a tough defender against Trey. Lowry's playoff savvy. He's bigger, bulkier. I think the Hawks are being bullied, man. I don't think they stand a chance. I think this is done next game for sure.
What's the next game? The next game's back in Miami. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
This looks like this
yeah.
is the this looks like this
Diba?
is done. I don't even know if
Butler's
it's
been Butler's been playing really well also. He's averaging 30 or at least close to 30.
isn't that what
They
he
haven't
saves.
really needed yeah, they haven't really needed Hero much. I don't think he's been scoring quite a lot in any of the games in the series so far.
They didn't need a hero.
No, they didn't need a hero. They all they needed to do was call the butler.
Yeah,
The butler did it.
so anyway, I was gonna make a joke about who sang "We Don't Need a Hero" whatever that song was, and I completely blanked who the singer
Tina
was right
Turner.
now. No, no, that's but naman yun. That was Mad Max.
Yeah, yeah. We don't need a. Oh,
Yeah,
baka naman you're talking about the Foo Fighters song.
no, no, no. The girl, the one who sang Total Eclipse. I need a hero. She sang a hero song
Oh,
also. What's her name? Anyway, uh,
anyway.
next bracket. I'll think about it. I'll probably come up with it. Was that Total Eclipse of the Heart girl? What's her name? Not Bonnie.
Bonnie
Not Ray.
something.
Not
Not
Bonnie
Bonnie
Raitt.
Raitt. Not Bonnie Raitt. No, no.
Bonnie
And
Badilla. No, I don't
Clyde.
know. Next bracket, Philadelphia, Toronto, which should play tomorrow, right?
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, the
Uh-huh.
Raptors snuck one. They snuck a game in by
Right.
winning because their rookie
Right.
of the year came back. Ganun ba yun?
Oo nga. Oo nga. Maybe. Maybe. He's been playing a
Diba?
lot of point guard actually, especially towards the end of the season there. So I think not having him kind of disrupted the rotation that they had, but I don't think any of us really saw the Raptors upsetting Philly here. And just like the other series we mentioned earlier, this is going to be going back to Philadelphia. So I think this is also all but said and done,
Yeah.
man.
Well, if we go to the next one, pa, even more. Well, this one I want to comment on personally. So on the next game, it's Milwaukee up 3-1
Right.
against the Bulls,
Right.
and I'm just completely dumbfounded. I don't know if dumbfounded is the correct word. I'm just completely astonished, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
why Chicago would even bother winning game two. Why would they even bother? Just and then just completely,
para naman they can say they showed up at the
dude,
very least showed
dude
up.
naman. Sana they lost na lang. Okay, what's this? It's 3-1. Okay, it's
Yeah.
3-1. This is sana they lost game two and protected home court na lang better than how they've been showing. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks lost Middleton and they allowed Grayson Allen to be Middleton all of a sudden.
Essentially, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
diba? So
How much did I know Allen scored 27 today. Parang the last game was what, 24, 25, something like that also.
I, I think about 26. I think so about
Yeah,
the
di ba?
same. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So anything Middleton came up with, essentially Grayson Allen covered for.
Yes. Technically, yeah, diba we were talking about, oh, how's it now? That might be an interesting thing na wala si Middleton, right? No,
Right,
22.
right.
22 si Allen,
We we
the,
kind of
the
even
previous
gave the
game.
Bulls, suntok sa buwan kind of chance. Pero wala eh.
No, wala.
Outclassed, outplayed, outcoached, I think also. I,
Or
I've not
here,
I've not even seen any adjustments made by the Bulls. Di ba? It's the same starting five. It's the same rotation.
yeah.
They're not even switching on the D, or try and change it up. Get someone on Yanis. Get someone else on a shooter, or get you know Caruso hasn't done much either. He didn't score. I don't know if he had a steal, but Drew just took him to class. Also took him to.
If it's anything like, I mean, if we're to talk history, um, Billy Donovan is not known to be a great adjuster as a coach. He was a good coach in
No,
college. In the
right.
NBA, okay, how do you say it? Like it's like with OKC, he comes up with good stuff. Like he came
Mm,
up with a good team and a good
mm,
system to bring
right,
Chicago through the regular season, like what he did with OKC and Chris Paul and the three
right,
guard lineup, diba,
right,
and all
right.
that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But after that, he's really well. We saw it with the KD and Westbrook OKC. He could never adjust during the playoffs, which was
Yeah, I
always their
mean,
downfall.
that time they went to the finals, they even had Harden. That was a stronger team than this Bulls team, easily, right?
Which one?
That
The
OKC
OKC?
team that went to the
Yeah, but
finals.
no, but that was coached by Scott Brooks. Iba yun.
Ay,
Billy
oo nga
Donovan came
pala. Yeah,
after.
you're
Billy
right, you're right,
Donovan,
you're right.
yeah.
Scott Brooks nga pala yan.
Billy Donovan was the coach of OKC when Harden left na. Sometime
Was
Harden
already
left,
with Houston. Right,
but
right, right, right.
it was the team that brought the Warriors down to a 3-1 lead. That's the one that lost the 3-1 lead to the
Oh,
Warriors.
oh, 7 games to the Dubs, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So, I mean, Donovan's known. I mean, and then, okay, I'll add also to Donovan. DeRozan should be the one here carrying the team on the back because he's the vet. I mean, diba?
Yes,
He's back in the
yes,
playoffs. He should be.
right, yeah.
But
It,
apparently
it,
he's
it, it's essentially really naman his team eh. It's not Levine's. Levine is more of the Robin here. They've both been scoring in the 20s naman. I don't know, man. Parang it's really just not
yeah.
enough. Not enough.
Zach's
Not
supposed
deep
to
enough,
be
not enough.
Zach is supposed to be the Robin, but ano yun? DeMar is being the Robin. Could have been. Sorry ha.
Parehong Robin eh.
Parehong Robin. Sorry, tayong dalawa lang ha. I have to make up. I have to create Mike jokes. Sorry, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Anyway,
I hope you're at least listening, Tito Mike.
Tito Mike. Um, he's really gonna make us buttocks one after this episode.
This is also the series is also the same. We mentioned they're all 3-1. This first three
Yeah,
series we've mentioned, I think they're all done.
yeah.
One more
I think they're
game, they
all
go
done,
back home, they're all done.
and I'm underwhelmed so far with those three series. As how it, I mean,
Oo nga.
well, Miami, Atlanta, I thought could have been something. I always thought Philadelphia, Toronto
Right.
would have been tambak. Milwaukee, Chicago, I thought there was going to be more of a resistance at least, diba? With
Uh-uh.
anyway. Now we go to even the more. I mean, if these were underwhelming, this is even wilder than underwhelming.
This was not expected by most. I
Th-
thought
This
at least this would be a good series.
yes.
As
So
Papalag Celtics, that I've always known that. I've always thought of that.
yeah.
I do have a little more respect with regards to Tatum than most people in our chat group or at the bench. But
But
hey, man,
yeah, so
Tatum's proving
technically,
me right so far.
yeah, so technically what you're talking about is that Boston has a commanding 3-0 lead over
Yeah, dude. No, there's no
the
one
Brooklyn Nets.
there's no one out there expected this. I did not expect this. I expected a fight, but not a 3-0 lead either.
I
Diba?
expected the Brooklyn Nets to be in the finals, at least the Eastern Conference
Well,
Finals, and
I've always thought they were too thin to make it to the finals. I didn't think they'd have enough to beat the Bucks, who I think is still the most touted to get back into the finals.
well, that's fair. I always thought it was going to be Brooklyn or the Bucks anyway. But okay, the cat's out of the bag for me, huh? I'll do it now
Ah,
since they're down 3-0. The cat's out of the
ah,
bag. Whenever I'm gonna do it here on stream, but we'll see
yan.
how strong my
Yeah.
powers are. Okay. Uh, I really rooted all the way Nets in for the Nets to make it because let's see, I I don't like the Nets to win. What am I talking about? Whether I think so or not, I am so happy if the Nets lose. I was happy last year when when Milwaukee kicked out the Nets,
Right.
and I'll be happy this year. Actually, this was my whole plan for the Nets to lose to whoever. All right, if they make the East, I mean, for me, if the Nets were in the finals, I would have rather it be against the Dubs, but Steph can hopefully kick KD's ass. But I don't know where the Dubs yet is. I mean, they have their own bracket. So if anyone can
Uh-huh.
kick out the Nets in the first round, like, thank you. Anyone there. And it so happened you had a Boston Celtics here who is doing it. So now,
Uh-huh.
here's my thing. Here's my fearless forecast now.
Uh-huh.
To see if I have any voodoo power left for this series. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Brooklyn, now Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, this is probably the most broken experiment. They will lose this, maybe not get swept. They'll probably win the next game. Then they'll lose in Boston. So this is probably the most broken experiment already. And I don't know how they're gonna bounce back from a first round defeat. It got worse, so to speak.
It did.
Diba?
It did. We might not see them playing together next year. I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
Right?
but and then you have Simmons
Or
who's not playing at all.
unless yeah, that's another thing. It was already announced he was going to play the next game, and
Yeah,
then he
and
backs out of playing the next game. I don't know why. Maybe he's just what's this? Yeah, let's read this first.
sabi ni Andre, naapektuhan ni Baby Simmons psychologically incapacitated. Thanks for
I think
watching, Andre.
I think he's just trying to avoid to be the only player in NBA history to have played the last two playoff games eliminated twice, back to back elimination.
Uy, someone
Just,
popped up.
diba?
Someone popped up. Do I put him in? I'll
Oh,
put him in, huh?
sige, yeah.
Okay. Shamalibadu. Shamaliba. There you go.
You know.
We'd like to welcome to the stream EJ,
What's up, guys?
who's
Sup?
sipping
What's up?
gin and
Ayan,
juice.
we've discussed the first three brackets on the East. All 3-1. We all think these
Yeah.
are all done series. Maybe
Yeah.
you'd like to say your thoughts on all three?
Well, I feel bad about Chicago. Just
That's what you
it's
were saying.
indescribable. It's just I mean, I just don't understand what's going on with them. It's like they have no fight. I mean, is it really Grayson Allen is taking it out? I mean,
Yep.
he's really taking the wind out of their sails. That guy.
Yeah,
Um,
actually.
I really like that his own teammates are booing him though, and they're having fun with it. That's hilarious. I mean, I was cracking up with that.
He's turning his bad he's turning his bad guy thing into a good thing because he's scoring.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Philly, Toronto. I mean, that's expected, but I really like that Scotty Barnes this early is getting a playoff experience as a rookie.
Mhm.
That's gonna,
Mhm.
he's gonna take that so far. I mean, just like Hero, Tyler Hero for Miami. I mean, look where he's at now after having that kind of finals
Right.
experience in his rookie year, right? And
Mhm.
now he's sixth man of the year. Did he actually get it? He won, diba?
He's rookie of the year.
No, Tyler.
Tyler, I'm not sure. Did
It's
he?
not
Did he
been
get
announced
sixth
yet
man?
yata.
If it has
Wala
not
pa
been
yata.
announced, that I
Wala.
mean, it's like he's in the running, and I mean, if he wins,
certainly up
I
there,
know
yeah.
why. I mean, he deserves that. So overall, yeah, those are my thoughts,
Yeah.
and I agree with you guys. I mean, these are done deal series. So I mean, if
So
you want to move
now
on to the West, we can go.
no,
Ayun,
we
jump into the Boston Nets
no,
series.
we're
naman.
in Boston Nets, and I was in the middle of
Okay.
I was in the middle of going that this is completely done also for the Nets, and I want to see how much my voodoo powers can still affect this thing. That the Nets have zero chance of coming back in this series, and I think there'll be a broken team even going into next year. I really don't know where they go with this.
I really hate
First round
analyzing
exit,
the series.
diba? So
So
you,
I have to think deeply about Kyrie and about KD. I have to think about Tatum and Marcus Smart.
Dude,
I really don't like thinking about this series at all.
no, Mika
But-
said, dude,
But
There's
Tatum
nothing-
before our eyes, he's maturing. It's
Right?
I mean, it for me, it's like
Thank you. I'm not the
it's
only
about
one who
time.
thinks so.
it's about time that Tatum is performing like this.
I've never been a
I
Tatum
don't like
hater, huh?
them. I don't like
Yeah,
them.
No,
I'm a
wala
Celtics
namang
fan.
hater kay Tatum eh. Parang
I don't hate the
mostly-
Nets, but I'm annoyed with KD and Kyrie. Well, what's not to make fun of, man?
No, dude, I'm not just an
Great players. Great
I'm-
players.
I'm going to be honest about KD. I really hope KD does not win one without the Dubs, Riba. So I mean, let's not. I'm not
And
gonna
you're
cherry.
like, oh, who was really
quote-
carrying what there? And I mean, come on, to be even keeled about it.
Yeah.
KD helped a lot. He was the finals MVP, all of that stuff. But
KD helped us beat LeBron. I mean, that's good enough. But still, the point is that why did he leave a good thing for me? I mean, can you imagine if the lineup now was Steph, Jordan Poole, Clay, KD, and Draymond?
he just had to make it so hard for himself.
Anyway,
Chuck said something today. He said on air. He said, there are bus riders and there are bus drivers, and KD is a bus rider. He rode the Dubs to those championships. The Dubs were already a championship team before he got there. Now
You know
that
what?
he's on the driver's seat, he's not able to drive this team to where he needs to take them.
I agree with Chuck, but I'll even add to that. He's not even driving the Nets. You know why? He rode on Kyrie's bus. This was not KD's bus, huh?
True, that's also true. There
I
you
mean, not,
go.
KD is just
Yeah,
so good that he's leading the party. That's how good he is, right? But this was not
right,
KD's thing.
right,
KD's thing
right.
was, I don't know what KD's thing was, but it wasn't his childhood dream to play for Brooklyn. That's for sure. He's not even from there. It was Kyrie's childhood dream to
That's
play
his
for the
yes,
Nets.
because the guy was born in Jersey, so he's
Yeah,
a New
that's why. So
Yorker, essentially backyard New Yorker.
and Andre is saying free baby Simmons. So
You know what? If he did play sana game 4, nagkaroon man lang sana ng konting spark, ganahan man lang sana ng konti pa si KD at si Kyrie, it might have, I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the series, but it
I don't
might
know
have
what's
made
going
it
on
a
with them.
better series. But dude, yeah, man, I really
I
don't know
think
what's
I
going
think they're
on
exhausted.
inside Ben Simmons'
I
head.
think they're
yeah,
mentally exhausted about what happened the past season. KD has had to carry this team by himself.
yeah.
Yes,
And he
Harden,
yes,
I don't know what was wrong with Harden. Why he can't make it work. It's like I'm expecting Harden to have issues with Embiid, with everyone there at some point. I mean, that seems to be his mo. And they're so it's a really shallow team. They don't have much depth in the bench.
there's none at all.
It's like I already saw that there are a lot of issues with the Nets, but they're but I mean you dismiss that because I mean hey you do have KD and you do have
And Kyrie,
Kyrie.
Kyrie, and I thought Ben Simmons is gonna
not
play, and Reggie Miller just came out earlier, and I think expressed all our frustrations, and he's
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
"Come on, man, what are you doing? You
And
don't have.
right,
It's like you have zero competitive fire. It's
right,
like you're not
right.
interested in basketball at all right now.
my last
Uh,
thought about Simmons talaga is that I liked Simmons, but if he's gonna
Me
do
rin
this, I
eh,
mean, yeah,
sayang.
forget it, man.
yeah, I mean, if you don't play, you're not a player.
No,
Yep,
It's just one plus
it's
one.
simple. Yeah.
yep.
Right? I mean, that's all it is.
I
I mean, let's
one
can we
last
move on now?
sige.
Yeah, I know. That's
One,
why
one last
I
one
was
last
okay.
thing
Go,
to
go,
Go,
add.
go,
go, go,
go, go,
go,
please,
go.
One
please.
last thing to add here. I think I don't know if it's just bug sobra no from the whole season or all that, but I think we're finally seeing KD age.
I
I
agree.
think we're finally seeing KD slow down a bit.
I
He's
agree
not able to do what he used to do at the end of games anymore.
because
And I think
and
that's the biggest problem the Nets have had. Apart from the fact that Tatum's been covering him really, really well, man.
well, I'll add to that what you said about Tatum and Brown covering him. I just don't think KD is as he used to be a how do you say, give me the word, he used to be a really, he used to look big and he was like a force, he was like a
He was a cut
unicorn.
literally above the rest.
Yeah,
He
diba?
could
He was
shoot over
different.
everyone.
Even
Yeah,
though he was thin, he was tall and he was fast.
yeah.
He's not physically imposing now to other players. He
Anymore.
looks
Right,
small there.
right.
He's not
I mean, we
imposing
just
at all.
yeah, yeah. We just saw Jones, who's like 6'8" with a 7-footer wingspan. You know,
Yeah. No,
take care of
yeah.
the Suns earlier. So yeah,
You know what?
there are a lot of
On that note, we'll move to that. Yeah, let's move to the West. I like that
tara
segue.
tara.
Tara, let's go. So I'll start up on the West. That today the Pelicans beat the Suns and ties that series 2-2.
2-2.
So you mentioned it, Jay. Go start off with Herb
Sige,
Jones.
I'm not
Herb Jones.
particularly surprised anymore after seeing the Pels beat them at their own home floor. I'm not surprised the series is tied. One thing, Booker's not playing, and Booker means a lot to the Suns. The
Yes.
other players needed to step up, and they haven't. Chris Paul is still playing Chris Paul ball, but I mean Alvarado gave him quite quite lashing today. Made it really hard for him to be able to run that club. Galing, galing. I'm really impressed with this Pelicans team. We all thought naman that this team had enough players, and now they're all showing up, especially the rookies, man. I'm super impressed with Jones, with Alvarado. and with Murphy even.
And
Galing.
then
I don't know. I don't know what kind of chemistry they'll have if and when Zion decides to start playing. I'm really liking Larry Nance, man.
yeah,
As that extra rebounder guy for
Yep.
them because Nance has a lot of spunk, man. He
15
goes
to
for
20
those
minutes, all
boards.
you need from that guy.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to score. And apparently, I mean, we all know he can also, give 10, 12, even 15 points at some games. But that crashing the board, the defense he gives them, galing, man. So I don't really know lang when Zion comes back na how that will all work chemistry wise.
we'll go to EJ now because I
Go
know EJ wants to
Pelicans.
talk about well, sabi muna ni
BI.
Andre that
Oh, galing ni
CP3 daw
BI.
4 points. Yeah, EJ wants to talk about BI. Go EJ.
About PI. Well, I already talked about Brandon Ingram
Yeah.
before. I mean, I've always been a believer that he's a guy that's gonna put it together. He's been trusting the kind of training and the education on basketball ever since he joined the Pelicans. He's grown a lot, and he's one of those guys again that's like before our very eyes. He's blooming in the playoffs. It's like I think this is gonna do a lot for his self confidence moving forward,
Mhm.
and just another player that the Lakers are gonna regret letting go. I mean, we were talking about Nance, and then we got Brandon Ingram. It's like, oh my gosh, man.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, it's
Yeah.
it's like that.
Uh,
Almost everyone in that young core is got a taste of the playoffs somewhere else. Even D'Lo, that everybody was trashing before. It's like, well, he's found a home with Minnesota. Um, Outside of BI, I think CJ has really slid into a nice vet leadership role in that
mhm.
team. I think a lot of people are going to defer to him. They were talking about how BI and CJ had a conversation before this all started, and not before the whole season, but before he was gonna, start playing for them.
Get into the playoffs, yeah.
And Ingram was surprised that he was. Both were surprised. They were so willing to be accommodating for each other, what they both wanted for the team, and I guess that kind of chemistry that kicks things off on a good note,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, unlike Westbrook, I mean, they start telling him that bunch of other guys can bring the ball forward if needed. And he's like, no, I'm the point guard. I will bring it forward, just me. I'm like, okay, that's not gonna work, right? I mean, it's
No.
like, okay, let's
Oh, we
not
all
listen
knew
to
that
the
it was
day one. Let's not listen to the coach. Great. So I think the chemistry has been great so far. I mean, I just think there's just a little lack in talent, a little lack of experience. Herb Mother effing Jones has been like my favorite player in this series.
rock and roll this Jones,
Um,
man.
but he's I think a few years away, still
Ah,
3-4 years from starting to hit his stride. But early on, you already see the hustle, you already see the defense, you're already seeing
yeah.
the scoring, fearless, so good. I
Can I?
mean, I mean, you go ahead. I mean, it's like I'm just happy the Pels have won
Yeah.
too. I didn't expect this at all. I
Yeah.
mean, I was happy
No
they
one
got
did.
one.
No, I wanted to add to what you were saying about Ingram and McCollum
NCJ.
because something just this image entered my head that both I didn't like, huh? Let's put it this way, both I didn't like, and then
Yeah, I
all of
know.
a sudden they come together and well, you said they talked, and in my head it's like, okay, Ingram goes, hey, you can be my vet leader that I need, and he's just like, yeah, hey, you won't overshadow me. So
But I'm like,
and it
agree. Now
complete
let's do the
that's
things
it
that
It's
make us more
win-win.
likable.
exactly. So all of a sudden the pressure on Ingram is out to be this. He's not that yet. Let's put it this way. And that was my
No,
gripe with Ingram.
But
They
he's
were putting
getting
this.
there, huh?
No, he's getting there, but
Mm.
naman, even from the Lakers, they were putting the pressure on Ingram to be the man.
Too
They were
much, eh? Too
always
much too
saying
soon. Yeah, too much too
because
soon.
because of his physical gifts and all that. Like, when
Right,
will
right,
Ingram
right,
step up? And Ingram
right.
probably his personality is like, dude, not yet. I mean, I know I
Uh oh.
can, but it's not.
Uh oh.
Maybe he didn't want to become the pressure guy yet. And now CJ can take that from him, being a veteran. And okay, fine. CJ naman has been wanting to be out of Dame's shadow probably always in Portland. So it kind of worked out a lot for me. Like so
Yeah.
when EJ goes that they talks like that little light bulb went in my head. That's what they talked about. And it all worked
Yeah.
out.
And,
Diba?
and no,
And
no,
then
and this was actually reported. They talked over sorbet.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it was also
Strawberry
reported that
sorbet.
it was also reported that Zion didn't bother talking to CJ. And then
Yeah.
if I
Yeah,
remember.
Yes,
yeah, they
yes.
were making issue again,
Yeah,
about
diba?
What Zion's not doing, for them, and then
Yeah,
of course he had to end up showing up, right?
yeah. But now kasi the problem
Eventually
is
they
that
had to say that he's talking. Admittedly, Zion I think was doing a lot of things
he
wrong
was he knew he was gonna
but
lose
from a PR
control.
standpoint, I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There are things that we're not privy to. I mean, we're not there,
Right.
so it's a lot of secondhand, information. But he is injured, so at a certain point, you're like, what more can the guy do other than the PT that he's supposed to do? Unless he's not doing that, unless he's not listening to doctors. There are also those reports like he's not listening to the team. He's not. There are a lot
Yeah.
of these rumors going around, that's what was going on. Na Parang he was giving them a hard time, right? It's like, this guy's totally he wants to leave, right? He was even like fighting people in the off season. I don't know if you remember that.
They were telling him, Zion, you can't do drills with a Doritos bag in your hand. Can you put down the Mountain Dew,
Why?
please?
They showed footage of him doing this vertical dunk with just 2 feet, 2 feet windmill dunk. If he can do that, can't he play?
No, but they didn't show
And
you
so I've
after.
seen that. A lot of people, yeah, exactly.
More, man. He
Yeah.
doesn't look injured. He just looks fat. Sorry, man.
Looks too big.
Jay, after
That's too
that, you
big.
didn't see he sat down and drank Mountain Dew. That's what he
He
did
did.
after.
He did. He did.
Well, anyway, so yeah, let's go. Next series. I mean, guys, any last thoughts? Jay, anything
Yeah.
else on this series?
I
What
hope,
do you-
I
I
hope
mean-
the Pelicans win, man.
You hope the Pelicans
I-
win.
Yeah, I
don't
hope
know
the
the
Pelicans
chances of
win, but
that,
and it would be like,
Pelicans-
grabe, sobra nilang. Seriously, they
yan.
lose Booker, and that's all it takes for them to lose it. I
unravel,
mean,
no?
it's like a lot of teams are injured, a lot of teams are hurt, and trying to make things work. I
Right,
think
right.
the teams that are, I mean, Bucks lost Middleton, and someone
Yeah,
stepped up.
Right.
So if CP3, okay, I mean, the main excuse here, okay, sige na, CP's old, right? But we were all saying na parang, wow, for someone his age, he's really been pulling
He's
it
still
off,
playing well.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, so it can't be that right now. It's like, if they
Yeah.
lose, then they choked.
I just can't
Yeah.
see.
1 seed, 8
I,
seed.
me also.
There,
I
Jay.
don't.
There, Jay.
They're
I
too
agree.
good. They're
No,
the
but
best. Number
Yeah,
one
I-
team in the NBA.
And I agree with
Yeah.
Jay. 1-8 seed. Can you,
Yeah.
diba? I mean, how
Yeah,
rare is
That's
that?
a disaster if you lose.
They have to
That's-
figure it out,
Yeah.
But
Now,
we believe.
we, I don't care to believe for that
We
series.
believe.
Basta, if the Pelicans,
Sorry,
bahala
hindi
na,
pala. We
basta.
gotta fight. Yun pala. That's their line. We gotta fight.
We'll see. It can't be that good that the Pelicans will beat the Suns. Let's just move on to the next series.
And that's what they said
Um,
about the Dubs.
Yeah, diba? I mean,
Yeah, man.
Dallas. Okay, here's the funny part. Yesterday, Luka comes back.
Etong weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luka comes back. But they
Okay.
lost lang naman. They lost lang naman by a point to Utah. Diba?
Yeah.
I was like, they lost
Again,
lang-
Still
it's like
lost.
I
With Luka,
They
it's so
still-
weird.
that's chemistry. You're gone for a few games.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
That's true.
it's like this particular team has been figuring out Utah, then they insert a guy that's gonna totally control the ball.
Yes.
That throws things
Yes.
off a
Medyo
little
na-off
bit,
lang.
right?
Ah.
But they have to, because it's Luka. I mean, it's like he can't just be sitting there and defer to Bronson. Hell no.
Yeah,
He's
right.
the guy that has to control the ball and everything. So he has to figure it out. But it looks bad if they lose because they won too without him.
Yeah.
Right.
Jay.
Right.
Bronson's my guy.
I-
though. Seriously.
I'm with EJ here. I think that's just really a chemistry thing. He hasn't been playing for quite some time. He's a player that has the ball all the time. So konting adjustments lang yan, but I still feel the Mavs are gonna take this series.
Yeah,
Lalo
well,
na with Luka back. Come on, man. I
I
don't
know.
I don't see Utah
And that's what I was
winning
saying before, but they just needed to buy time. They just needed to buy
Yeah.
him time, and Brunson did his
this.
job
Did. Yeah,
perfectly,
yeah. Now it's Luka's turn to, take
just
this
in
home.
time.
Mm-mm.
I'll go to some comments here. Well, Joe Smith, hi. Thank you, Joe, for gracing the show. And he says advertisement though for Pepsi, si Zion. And Andre, go Bertans Malas. Yeah,
Maybe that
yeah,
game,
but
but for me, I thought he was a good. What do you call this? He was a good luck charm.
yeah, but the playoffs can't hang on the shoulders of Davis
Oh,
Bertans.
kitty baby.
No, well, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it like this. They're tied 2-2. Let's just say that Dallas won. Whether Luca got so if Luca's back, so everything's back to normal. Dallas won the first two home games. Utah won the next two home games. It's a 3-game series. That's how I see it. I mean, all the in. Hey, I saw a baby. I see another. It was a baby girl.
Boy.
Huh? Fafa EJ.
Anyway, all right.
Um, so we go to the next. Okay, the next one. Wait, no more na, huh? No more na Dallas and Utah. We're going to Golden
yeah,
State
yeah,
now.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Golden State avoided the sweep. Is that how I say it? They avoided the sweep this morning by losing to Denver.
I didn't get
Yep.
to see the game. I did see the highlights. They did have a shot at winning this and closing it out.
It took.
Yeah,
It took.
did.
Yeah, like Julio said, Steph missed the three. Clay missed an open three. Wiggs missed the dunk.
the dunk and
You know, I,
and Porter threw the wrong lob pass.
And I
Steve Kerr
think-
made the wrong play. I
and
don't
for
know, man.
once, Wiggins looked really gigil to put that in. Because he normally, it's like when he dunks, it's like there's still a mild mannered way to it, you know? So it's like when he slammed it in, it's like he really did it with such force that, it's like it was so uncharacteristic. It's like nagigil siya. He wanted to put it in, but it bounced off. It took all of those things going wrong for them, to lose. Plus, of course, the
To
super
lose,
slow
yeah.
start. They were down by what, 16?
Yeah, right.
I hope
Ako,
I hope you don't wait. Sorry, one small thing. I hope EJ, you don't mind me saying that your kids look way better than you.
Yeah, they did.
grabe
Obviously.
to.
That's
What, dude? That's like
there's no argument there.
that's
Wala bang
cuteness.
pinag-
pinagmagaan? Nagmana naman.
I'm gonna have problems.
That's cuteness overload right there, dude. What can I say? Go. Sorry, Jay. Go.
No, I just wanted to say I think this is like what Julio would say, atsara. Ako, tingin ko dito palabok.
Akala ko paminta and suka.
Palabok na. Kasi
Palabok
halo
na,
mo
palabok
lahat.
na. Sige.
Gusto lang ng Dubs mapuno uli yung court nila at kumita ng extra
Oh,
cash.
yeah.
Dude. Yan lang yun. Tapos na to pagbalik sa Dubs.
Isa pang gate receipts, ganun yun. Is that what you're saying?
Oo, dagdag palabok lang.
Sabi ni Doc Nesty. Hi, Paps. Hi, Doc Nesty. Dubs daw champion.
Yun, champion
Ouch!
na.
Ouch! Ayoko. Out muna. Out. Sorry. Thanks for
Ala
commenting,
pa.
Doc. Yun, Doc,
Dubs
tama talaga.
championship
Dubs
favorite.
champion favorite. I'm scared with all these comments, but okay lang yan.
It was Poole's first game na did not score over 20.
Yes, it was Poole's,
So far, no?
Poole's first bad game. Not man bad. No, actually bad. Bad game of the series.
Well, bad compared to what he's been doing. 11
Yeah,
points isn't so good, right?
I watched the game. Wait, EJ, are you
Too distracted right now.
you're too distracted? Sige, I'll go. I'd be distracted too anyway. I watched the game at 3:30 what I kind of woke up. I was half asleep for the first half, checking out lang. Before I went into League Pass, I was just, scrolling through updating the stats, half asleep. And then when it started getting interesting in the third, I logged into League Pass from my bed. And it was funny because they just kept on. The whole game was a 6-11 point lead, 6-10 point lead, the whole game.
Mhm.
And then the Dubs would always challenge. It would go back up to 10 again. And then in the fourth, they just went for it in the last 6 minutes.
Yeah.
They just boom. And all of a sudden they took the lead with their famous death lineup, which was Draymond, Wiggins, Clay, Poole, and Steph. And they had it. They had all the chances. It just didn't happen. But that could have easily been a sweep if Draymond didn't foul out with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
If the pass of Porter was good, if like what EJ said, Clay made the 3-point shot, or Wiggins made the follow-up dunk, or Steph made that really open double drive-by 3-pointer, anything could have happened. So
Yep. I want to say also that I was right. I had an argument with some peeps at Warriors Nation Facebook page, and I got banned on Facebook. I got banned on Facebook for a couple of days for being correct. Okay. Charles Barkley just said that, bigs in the league, can, have their way with the Dubs a little bit. And he's correct. It's not their strongest position
No,
at
but
the center, right? But not because of Draymond Green. He is my defensive player of the year every year.
Yeah,
he
same,
is that
same.
good. So I will
Yeah.
I started this also by praising Draymond Green, and everybody was
Yeah.
losing their shit, just because
go,
I
let
was,
it out. Let it out.
defending
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
Yes.
But I wasn't really
Oh, yeah.
defending him. It was just stating the obvious, right? They picked Wiseman for a reason, and not because there was no other choice. There were
Yes.
a lot of choices, all right,
Right.
in that draft, and you can see all of those choices doing well the past season, right? He was not the only choice, but they picked him, and then they got a development coach for him this season. Jokic's
Jokic's
own
coach.
development coach that got Jokic to be where he is now because he was that good of a
Right.
coach, and they paid him a lot of money
Mm-mm.
to stick with Wiseman. One coach for Wiseman because they needed a center, right?
And
And
they
I
knew
said,
they did. Yeah.
Stop tempting fate, right?
Yep.
Green had 5 fouls the past game. Jokic had 37 points, right? And Green made an MVP play by stealing that ball because he can do
Yeah.
that. That wasn't
Yeah.
luck. That was really good
No,
defense.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, man.
But sometimes that won't happen, right? And it's not because of Green, but it's because they don't have backup in the position. It can't be Looney all the time, who has been amazing this season for what he is.
But it was
Right.
Looney kanina, and look what happened. They got eaten in the last 2 minutes by Jokic.
Right?
Yeah, just saying.
So, after all of that arguing and everybody, going like they're gonna win the championship because Green is. I'm not arguing with you about that. I mean, yeah, he can lead them to the championship. This team can win it all. They can.
Mhm.
That's not the argument. I'm just saying they need a little help at big, right? And I was like, don't you think they need a little help in the position? Now Green, they're all like whatever. I mean. Draymond Green can't do everything. They sub him out, right? I mean, he has to rest in game, so someone has to go in there and replace him for a few minutes.
Okay, let it
Right.
out. Let it out. Let it out.
So all I said earlier on the same thread was, "What's up?" I wasn't gonna argue anymore. I was just like, "What's up? What now?" All right. All of these arguments you guys been making for Draymond Green. What up? I said,
they
don't
let
tempt fate. I said, don't tempt fate, right? I mean, let's not keep risking it, right?
And they let you back in.
Yeah.
Well, I was already, Facebook released me from Zuckerberg jail.
Yeah.
So, I could comment already, right? But I didn't need to say much more.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely.
I mean,
Here's
Draymond
Yeah.
Green is my defensive player of the year every year. But he is one player, and you need a guy that can back him up, right? So Looney can still be there, but you need a bunch of players. Before, like, what did they have, right? At the bigs position, right? When they had Bogut. They had a few guys.
They had a lot of bigs. But this is
Right?
this is
They had a bunch of bigs.
Steve Kerr
Yeah,
was
they did.
collecting bigs. Now I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. Steve Kerr used to collect bigs before.
In this
No,
team,
what-
yeah,
what-
sure. Their guards, like you saw in the end of this game, the guards can pour on the offense, but at a certain point, you got to be able to stop the offense of the other team too. And
Right,
Jokic had
right.
37 points
Yeah.
again.
I was gonna,
And that's not
Jay,
because of Green, but because the center position is weak.
this Facebook page really triggered you up, man. What were you saying, Jay?
And I'm a
No, I
normal
just
fan of this page because I love the Warriors, right?
I know,
But
I
you
know, I
can't just
know.
be sucking all of these guys 4 asterisks.
no,
Here's a virtual
I
tissue.
just I just wanted to add there's another way naman of beating teams with big centers since they still don't have naman a center apart from Draymond and Looney. Diba? And we've seen this. They've done this. Pinagod nila si Jokic. How? By playing a faster pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Pero
something the Dubs have.
Yeah.
We saw this. I mean, even with the regular season games
yeah.
against Phoenix, sure they lost one, but you already saw that when the Dubs played their pace, medyo hilo at hirap din ang Suns.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, even without a center, that will also help carry the Dubs where they
But my point
can
was
get
also
to.
actually for longevity. If
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could just have kept going, if we could have had an argument, proper conversation about it, would have been, yeah, I agree. We can actually win this year. This is a
No,
really
but
great team.
you're gonna
But
wreck
I
in the
agree.
Draymond, man.
long run,
It's
You're gonna
possible.
wreck Draymond.
yeah,
Okay, diba?
he's gonna get
Um,
hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll wait. I want to get to some. Well, there's someone here with Japanese. Go Nets.
Go
This is from
Nets!
YouTube. This is from YouTube,
It's from
and
YouTube.
yeah, hello for
This is
watching.
not Mario.
Maybe
It's
it's
the only
Mario
guy I
because
know
he's in
that's in
Japan.
Japan.
And then Andre goes, I thought Looney was the team mascot. No, no, you thought right. That's correct.
He
You are,
is.
yes. He is
He
the
is.
team mascot. Yeah. And Doc Nasty goes,
Oh,
glaring
see,
deficit of Dub Center. Yes.
our
Yeah,
And that's
listeners
yeah
yes.
naman.
have
And
a lot more
Yeah naman.
sense.
no, because that's from the medical profession already, huh? So we cannot
Exactly.
discount Doc Nasty. That's a
Real
medical
pros.
diagnosis.
Ano
Diba?
lang eh, they've really been getting by using their heads, man. They've got a good coach. They've got
Yeah.
really good players. So Pace has been helping.
Yeah.
Of course, Draymond has been helping. Like EJ said, me also. The guy's defensive player of the year. Easy,
Yeah, but
hands down. Screw
there doesn't have
Gobert,
to be
man.
an argument. I mean, it's like a team can win the championship, and you still gotta admit that there were still
But
holes
they
that
still
could have been
lack.
filled,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Because
Would still be
what if
better
they
if
won
they
this
had a
championship,
center.
but one of them got hurt? Oh, was that worth it?
Right,
Hindi rin.
right, right.
Well, okay. I'll close this now, but all I'll say is that if the Dubs lose game 5, I'll keep quiet about the Dubs again. Okay, so that's what's gonna end up happening
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
diba?
I feel
Because
like
I'm gonna
I feel
end up
like
really scared.
Di na yan, tapos na yan.
Doc Nessie says Dibali, if Nets lose against the Celtics, KD Dow begging to be on the Dubs bus again and will acknowledge that he is a
Yep,
bus
yep, yep.
passenger to Steph being the bus driver.
Gusto ni
KD
Julio
wants
yan. Tanggap
KD
yan.
wants pa nga his number retired and the statue. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go to the next one.
Not before Steph gets his. Not
Oh,
before
yeah, yeah.
Draymond and Clay gets theirs, man. He's
That's-
fourth in that line. Sorry, KD. You're
Minnesota-
no OG.
Minnesota, Memphis, tied 2-2, which pisses me off because Minnesota should have been up 3-1. I mean, I don't know where to go with this also.
You
Minnesota
really
wins.
think Minnesota should be up 3-1?
Dude, they were up by 25 twice in game 3.
Twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Easily
come-
they could have. Easily
Yeah,
they could have.
this-
Yeah.
I don't...
But
kasi
no one
for-
saw that coming. I thought for sure this series at least 3-1 na now.
Yeah,
People were saying-
exactly.
Diba?
People are saying all
It's
kinds of
true,
things,
true.
diba? It's
Yeah,
all
but-
on Cat, right? I mean,
but
lack of awareness,
Memphis-
lack of game awareness. I mean, it's like
No,
it's a
but
disgrace.
Lack of Gigil.
Despite Cat's lack of anything, Memphis is not playing well, and Minnesota
No.
actually has
No.
this. They had
No.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm crying over spilt milk because I can still taste the spilt milk.
That
Can
game,
you imagine?
come on, man. Anytime you say that you are up 25 two
25
times,
Exactly.
you should have had that. So they should have been up 3.
and then they win game 4, and they were actually controlling game 4. And so where do we go with this? I mean, now all Minnesota has is that Memphis protected home court, they protect home court, and they won't be able to beat Memphis in their home court. Tapos ang game.
Where
Instead
we
of
go
being
with
up-
this
Ganun.
is
I don't know.
with a sports
We'll see.
psychologist that has to be on Cat the whole. The sports psychologist has to be on the bench every time Cat sits down. Like waking him up. It's like you gotta be like hypnotized or something. Hey, you gotta wake up.
This is what I feel
I
like with
think the I
Oh,
think
go, Jim, go.
the biggest deal here, why it's 2-2 is Ja.
Well, okay.
Ja has not been Ja
Keeping them
all
alive.
series long, man.
Yeah.
All series long.
Is that because of the defense of Pat Bev and Edwards? Big, I mean,
I'm not- I
think
can't
Pat
put-
Bev is affecting them because he's a freaking pest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of young
can't say
kids
that's
on that
the
team.
only reason. He's just not playing well enough also. I think it's both ways. He's being
I think-
defended really well.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat Bev is top 10, top 12 best defensive guards in the league. Easy. Edwards has also been putting his time in defending Ja, but dude, the guy is not playing
young.
the way he's supposed to be playing.
I mean, he's also too young. Where we go from here also is Ant Edwards.
No.
He improves, every year on year,
Right,
to become the
right.
superstar that he's meant to be.
Mhm.
Right? No more trashing this guy. No more voodoo or anything. He doesn't need it. He's shown that he has the aggressiveness. He's got that killer instinct, right? More than anyone on that team.
Yeah, no.
But he just
easily
doesn't
is
have the
star of that
experience yet.
team,
There's
I
still
think.
so much
Yeah.
more. It's the best league in the world. You don't come in, rookie year, sophomore
Feeling
year, then
like-
suddenly
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
go all the way. It doesn't work like that. No, it's
No,
not.
no,
That's never
no.
happened for anyone. Well,
I'm
maybe
ju- I-
some guys in
Whenever-
the past, right? But I mean, like right now, the league is too even for so many teams. You don't just come in first year, 2 years, and then suddenly you're gonna be killing it all the way to the finals, right? I
Uh-uh.
mean,
Yeah, Ja's been brought back down to earth, man. He
both of
going
those
into
guys.
the
I think
playoffs-
this series
yeah.
is showing what a playoffs can do. And I
Right,
think
right.
Memphis is lucky that they're not up against a more experienced team. Minnesota is lucky, and Minnesota lucky also for the same reason. So it's like these two are figuring out as we speak.
Okay.
What a
Yes,
playoff
yes,
series is supposed to be like.
That's true.
But I'd like to really hear, because let's go. I'd like to also hear, because we know how Jay has been. I mean, there are two players who Jay really likes in the NBA, and one young players at least, huh? Aside from the being a Lakers for life, there's the Tatum, which is rubbing Tatum in our faces, and that's cool. Tatum's doing really, really well, and there's Ja. So
Yeah.
Jay.
Apart
about
from Luka,
Ja?
I'm a big Luka fan also, huh?
Yeah. We're all Luka fans, but our divide goes somewhere between Tatum and Ja. So Jay, talk about Ja. Jay, what do you
He
think
has
about
to grow
Ja?
up, pa. He has to
Ah,
enough with all this angas bullshit. Sure, it helped them get to where they were. They won a lot of games during the regular season. But what is it doing now, dude? Against a Minnesota team that wasn't even supposed to be there. The number 2 seed. Play like a number 2 seed. He's not leading his team. I'll call him out. He's not leading his team right now.
that's fair. That's fair, naman. That's fair.
Ano yan? He'll learn eventually. Tatum went through the same shit, right?
That's true. That's
Swerte lang
true.
that on Tatum's rookie season, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That was a fluke. Let's all be honest. That was a fluke, man. But we've seen him grow. Sure, it hasn't been a growth spurt, but it still has been growth. Now we're seeing the dividends. Ja will have to go through that shit also to get to where he's supposed to be.
But I still think that if there was any chance of Minnesota to beat Memphis, it was now, and I think now that now that this is relegated into a best of 3 series, I think advantage back to Memphis despite Minnesota. I mean, I think the advantage just went completely back to Memphis once they came back from that double 25-point lead. So I don't think this game 4 will swing it back Minnesota's way. I mean, that's how I think, at least. So we'll see.
Memphis still has home court. Let's put it.
I mean,
that
Memphis
way.
got the second seed for a reason. I mean,
Yeah, it was-
they should take it, but it's also, the series is also tied, which I
Yeah.
really did not
yeah.
expect. So
Right.
Wait, watch
I
your
mean,
head,
let's see.
AJ. Watch your
Let's.
head.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sabi ni Doc, wahaha, yung pang Alaska natin daw kay Kat.
Nice one, Doc.
He woke up though. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he scored 30 and what? 15 rebounds, something.
Yeah. No, he was
Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
threes in that game. Yeah, he had a good game actually. Bobby also said Bobby's answering you, Jay. Hindi daw fluke yung Celtics. Mahina lang talaga yung East at that time.
Okay,
Hey.
sure. Hindi
I'll bet,
ako
I'll say,
makaangal sa Celtics fan. Hoy, pinagtatanggol ko na nga yung Celtics mo, maski na Lakers ako eh.
That Celtic team there, di ba? I keep on talking about that Celtic team at the one that went to the Eastern Conference Finals was just super loaded. That if you get that team now, if they were able to keep that team, that's Kyrie, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, Al Horford,
Brown.
Daniel Tice. Who else? Marcus Morris was in that team.
Wasn't Brown already there also?
And if he was healthy,
And Jalen Brown also, of course.
Yeah.
So, dude,
That's not...
and the dude that broke his ankle.
Gordon Hayward, yes.
Oh, Hayward pa pala. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
dude,
That
that
If
was
he
a
didn't, if that dude just didn't get hurt, what
And
could have been?
and they didn't lose anyone to get Time Lord. They drafted Time Lord low.
Yeah.
So Time Lord would have been part of the team also if they kept the whole bunch together. So that was a really, really strong Boston team, even if you were
Right.
minus Kyrie. Dude, that was solid. Rozier was
Yes,
playing like
yes.
diba? At that time, it was Rozier.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
interesting.
Grabe ang hayop lang, no? I mean, Kyrie would have been should have been the clear leader, you know, of that, and he was
On
not
that
able
team,
to control
yeah.
it.
He
was
didn't
not
want to
able.
play. He didn't want to have a system,
didn't want
Kyrie.
to play.
He was
Yeah.
clashing with the system of what's his name, Brad Stevens.
Mhm.
That was
Right.
the problem there. So he didn't want to be. Alam mo naman si Kyrie, di ba? Puro dribble, ISO. That's what he
I
wanted.
mean, it's like why is that not a conversation that you have before you even join the team? Did they not have that conversation with the
Well,
coach?
Right.
Right? I
That's
mean,
a good
imagine that they
question,
have
man.
that before he comes in.
Diba? Yeah,
But
man.
Kyrie was trying to look good. Remember, he requested out from Cleveland. That was the trade. Remember,
And that was
he
the
wanted
trade, eh.
he wanted out from LeBron. That's why the Celtics, Ainge also gave IT, who had a big medical problem for Kyrie. It was all
Yeah.
it was all messed, man. So Kyrie ended up in Boston, and he was supposed to be the savior of. I mean, he was like. That's why the Boston fans were so pissed off, because I remember that time, and I was
And still are.
yeah, they still are, because they thought Kyrie was. They loved IT, and they thought, but they all knew Kyrie was much better than IT. So
Was,
they were like
yeah.
they were lifting Kyrie to be like, hey, this is the new Boston. We got Hayward, we have Kyrie, and all this youth. And Kyrie screwed
Right.
them over by leaving. He didn't. He left them with
Right.
nothing. He
Yep.
even promised them, Kyrie promised them that he would resign.
Yeah, he said it.
Yep. And he leaves. That's the problem there.
Dude,
Diba?
what a
So
guy.
Time Lord defied time once again when he came back in game 3. Yeah, that's true. Malas ni Thais para sa Celtics. Watch. Uh-oh. You know the story of Time Lord. You guys know why they call him
Yeah.
Time Lord, right?
Yes, I know
You
the
Jay, do you know
story.
why? Do you know the story
No,
why
no.
they call? So for everyone there, Jay, they call him Time Lord because when they drafted him, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. If I get the story wrong, when they drafted him, he was not available for the call of of Danny Ainge, right?
Right,
And his
right.
reasoning was he was asleep. No, he missed his flight, or he missed his flight to go to the draft, or something like that. And his reasoning was he forgot to set his alarm.
From what I remember,
Wow.
he also
Okay, correct
was
me.
late for a game flight, like with
No,
Boston.
don't
like,
see-
and it's not like the first time that he was late for something. So there were a few
Ow.
late instances.
maybe.
Na
But
parang
it, start-
sobrang.
but it started, dude, from the draft. From the draft
Okay.
alone, already,
That
he
one,
missed something.
that one I didn't hear. But I know he was
Because-
late for a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
and eventually it was like Time Lord.
And his reason was he didn't set his alarm. that was the reason. And it's like, buti pa nga dinaft ka. But he was drafted really low, so they got a steal with
Yeah.
Time Lord.
Yeah, they did.
That's
Fantasy stud yan, man.
super fan. Wait, I'm gonna switch back to our beautiful faces, and we have anything else on the bracket? Sorry, I think we were done.
Nah, they were
yeah,
good.
we're all good.
Yeah,
We're all
we
good.
were all good. Thank you again, everyone, for dropping by. Bobby, Andre, um,
The
Japan,
Japanese dude.
the Japanese. Yeah, I was gonna say Japan, man. Our viewer from Japan. Thank you, whoever you are from YouTube. Please do subscribe to YouTube, our YouTube channel. Andre, Nesty, Joe Smith, and whoever was watching our episode. Thank you, EJ, for dropping
Thanks,
by
guys. Thanks,
Um,
DJ.
and flooding us with cuteness. And you were
Ah.
pretty, and you were pretty, and you were also very welcome.
Okay, okay. Pwede na.
Pwede na,
Pwede na, pwede na.
diba?
Sige lang.
Okay, okay.
I'll take
Jay, take us home. Hey, thanks for
Hey,
watching,
man.
guys. Take us home, Jay.
Like always, we said it first here on the bench, baby. The bench.
The bench,
bench.
but can I make the outro correctly?